Alright guys, welcome back. Let's take a look at this next modification. First thing we need to do is make some room for this smoke machine. So we're going to start taking stuff apart. Take these lights off. And here's the smoke machine I got. Let's check it out. There we go. Yeah, this is only a $6 smoke machine from China, and it's working really good. So I'm happy with it. We're gonna install it here, but we gotta chop some stuff out. Take the on and off switch out of here too, and we're gonna put it behind the servo. But we're gonna put the pump facing the servo, because that back plate heats up a lot. So we're gonna remove the back seat too, or the driver's seat, or the passenger seat, I mean to say. And we're gonna set it up like that, just because that kind of gets hot back there. And I'm gonna explain something here. This suspension on this truck, originally it sucks. There's no suspension, so you got to do a little bit of loosening the bolts there so you can get some articulation out of it. And the suspension on it has zero flex on it. But let me show you here. It also doesn't turn very good unless you do this analog servo. It's pretty short, the horn on it, so I lengthened it. So the steering rod is a lot longer now. And we're gonna have to look for some plumbing material for this exhaust, or this smoke machine here. Got a little flexi tube there to connect straight to the machine there, and some this thin metal you can get from like the dollar store, the cookie sheets for $1. Pretty good material. Cut yourself out a little thing there and get a hole punch or whatever. 2 exhausts if you want, whatever, single exhaust, and plug it into there. Only one of them is actually gonna be functional, and then one of these telescopic antennas makes good exhaust tips, and some hot glue and super glue. You got yourself a little exhaust muffler. Pretty neat there. And then want to paint that tubing so that it matches the exhaust there. And I've been using this painter's pins. That works pretty nice and handy for detailing on the fly, touch-ups and stuff like that. And then some aluminum strips just to make a brace, to make it look more. You can make your exhaust however you want it to look. You can make it look like a more rounded one, like a glass pack or something. And I use this plastic to hide my smoke machine and my ESC and all that stuff, receiver. And then I just hot glue it to the side there and mount it. I'm not going to use that straight pipe on there, on the tip there. I'm going to use a curve so that the smoke can come out like the side, like they're supposed to. Usually that's how they look. So there's one example here of where I fill it up in that red cap. That's where I fill up the oil, about 2 or 3 drops, and it's only plumbed with one tube. Let me move this out of the way here. Yeah, check that out. Working pretty nice. It's only plumbed with one tube, and the other one's just fake, just for looks there. And there's my pump. I'm going to cut the grill out so I get better airflow to the ESC, and I get better airflow for my exhaust. And looks like it's working pretty neat there. I waterproofed it, the ESC too, so if and the smoke machine, but I won't ever get it submerged because that pump. But I'll probably only go about tire height into water, maybe a little more. And I'm powering each individual one with one of these 9.5 2S batteries. And here's the Equalizer suspension. And this truck comes with this hanger that's going to work perfect. We just got to cut out that mount area, lower the spot there, and now we're going to build a hanger with that same cookie sheet material. We're going to cut it in this dimension right here. You can cut it whatever dimension you need it for. Like if you're going to make a trailer, you can customize it. This is really good trailer suspension and truck suspension. A lot of semis run with this Equalizer suspension system, and this is the rocker box. So we're going to install the rocker box right there. And yeah, we're going to take out about 4 millimeters so that we can have these rocker boxes sit inside there, and they're going to be able to rock inside that area. And this one right here is for a trailer that I'm going to work on. It's already all done, and I'm using the spare parts from the WPL screws, whatever I could find, and let's notch out this leaf spring this size. That way it sits inside there nicely, and it'll gotta give it some play, not a lot, but just a little, just so that it has a little slack and for movement, and then wrap that spring around it. This is the Equalizer rocker box I'm gonna use on the truck. It's that dimension that I showed you that I'm using for this truck, that 25 millimeters. And then you can put stabilizer rods on the bottom there too, but this suspension is holding together really good. I find that I don't really need it right now. Maybe later I'll see, and I'll build a hanger there that holds a stabilizer rod for each axle. But for right now, everything's holding up together and articulating just nicely. I also flattened out these springs. If you know, these springs are curved really a lot, but you want them to be tapered out a little bit so that they can flex in and out of their hanger there. Yep, working pretty good. The back always flexes a little more than the front, but the front works pretty good too. You know, it just depends, and if you have a load on it, it's gonna probably want to heighten it too if you want to go real heavy loaded, or even add some more springs. But the system will still articulate no matter how strong a spring you got in there anyways. That's some spring flexing in there. Actually, it's about 50% articulation and 50% spring flex, so yeah, kind of balance it out that way. Yeah, so there we go. This is working pretty sweet. Way better. If you own one of these trucks, you know this truck does not articulate at all. The suspension system sucks. So if you like this modification, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to my channel, and I'll come up with more ideas. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.